What's up, Angel City? It's your girl Panda here today to bring you all the latest news and notes from our most recent matchup. And joining me today is, of course, Nina. What is going on out in beautiful Lawndale, California?
Ooh, I don't think there's much going on.
There's never
I
anything
hope
going
not, at
on.
least. It is a Sunday night. This is an Angel City Chicks After Dark podcast. We are
Be
up
ready.
late. We are having the fun, bringing you all the latest and greatest because we know we got a game this week.
Yeah, we thought let's just throw this one out there, get it out there, and then we can concentrate on Wednesday's matchup, which we'll talk all about. But why not give
And
you guys
Fugazi Cup.
something? Yeah, the Fugazi Cup is on Wednesday, so we want to give you the real cup action separate from it. So, anyways, obviously, you know how we are trying to do things. We've got some good old NWSL WOSO news. We've got some ACFC news. Anything we need to kind of wet your palate to get ready to get into this game, because honestly, it was kind of a fun game. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't said that recently about things. It was fun, frustrating, but still a good game. Great for NWSL and so many fun things in this matchup to talk about. But first, Nina, let's kind of give everyone a little palate pleaser with some WOSO NWSL news. What do you got out there? What's
Yeah,
happening around the league?
usually we just bring the NWSL news, but I found a great article from the Equalizer recently about European soccer clubs and women's soccer. So recently, European clubs have said that they are going to, quote, strictly adhere to the July 10th player release for the World Cup. And what is happening with this is, for those of you who don't know, there are a lot of friendlies and things scheduled for June as the European women's soccer clubs have actually already ended their seasons and they are gearing up for the Women's World Cup. But they are saying, no, you cannot have our players until July 10th. That is what we said. And it doesn't matter if we don't have games, they need to rest. And this is just very interesting because I feel like this is a first in like standing up for the fact that these players are actually putting their bodies through an immense amount of pressure and stress leading into any competition, but nonetheless, the World Cup. So all of these like early call-ups, as they're calling them, are really, as they're saying, an amateur form of the game, and that the league needs to evolve and there needs to be a better relationship to ease the tension between clubs and players. And they shouldn't be calling up players so early for all of these friendlies because the World Cup doesn't begin until July 20th. I
Right.
agree with
I totally agree with it. I mean, we're seeing, even right now, there's already injuries around the league. And, as the league goes on, there's going to be more added to that. And, it's a lot of stress to put on their bodies. And, I'm sure, the men, I think they respect that to a certain degree as well. And the women need to do the same thing. They need, like you said, you need someone to stand up for them and to say, hey, like, this isn't okay. Like, these are not just pawns in your little financial game of play of what's going on. These are real people that deserve to be treated as such. So, good on them for standing up and saying, like, these players deserve, like the best chance to go into, I think, the World Cup and in their, respective club play, feeling healthy, feeling rested, and feeling ready to go and give it everything that they've got. So I applaud that.
100%. We know what happens when players are pushed too far too quickly. Cough, cough, last season. So
Mhm.
this is important. We need downtime. We need our players to rest. And it's just not fair to ask them to do all of this. And like the problem is also, who's going to say no? No, I don't want to play for my national team.
No, you've got to have a bigger part of the puzzle standing up for them, because you're right. Because there are going to be some people that would never say no. Like, this is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. So you just have to be, like, yes, yes, yes. And then there might be other people that, are able and wanting to speak up for themselves, but feel like they're going to be in the minority. So you really need to have a collective effort from some place up top that's really going to come in and say, no, we're not doing this. So again, I applaud them. I think that's amazing. And, I think it's just going to give us even more quality that we're going to see on the pitch during the World Cup, because these ladies are going to be rested. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be ready to play. They're not going to be burnt out.
Absolutely. And then bringing it back stateside, we have some exciting information coming out of Boston as it pertains to NWSL expansion. So, one of the rumored teams that has been vying for a new place in the NWSL is Boston. And they are in the final contention for this, but they haven't been able to find a stadium to play in until now. They have found a 10,000 person stadium and they have a 10-year lease agreement from the city with
Ooh.
already set, but they're going to have to upgrade and make this a nicer stadium. So, fortunately, the city of Boston has announced as of Tuesday that they are going to themselves, the city of Boston,
Mhm.
renovate half of it and put up half of the money. And
Yep.
they're open to private entities, cough, cough, coming
Mhm. I
and
lo
building the other half out. And,
uh,
I see some potential here.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm so excited for them. I know there's a group out there called Boston Unity, and they've been lobbying for an NWSL team since last year when they revealed plans for an expansion team. And, look what happens when everybody comes together and you've got people working on this. I mean, we saw it here with the efforts to bring a team when we got it. They needed a stadium. They went out, they found something that they think could really work. So, we are all for growing this league, and we definitely want to see that. I would love an away days to Boston. Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun, to be honest. Have you ever been to
Oh, yeah.
Boston, Nina?
No, I haven't.
We could definitely get some clam chowder.
I've
Something.
never been to Boston in the fall.
I went to Boston in August. It was nice. I mean, it wasn't actually too bad. I went to Fenway Park and I got to see a Yankees Sox game, which was pretty
Oh, aren't
cool.
you
And
fancy?
I know, I know. So this would be a lot of fun. Again, I'm all for anything that is helping grow the league. And I mean, I think a 10,000 seat stadium is actually a lot of fun. And, it's going to be, I think, easy to fill. And, who knows what'll happen from there. It may show that they may need to expand at some point. But, I like that they're starting with that size. They're going to quickly, hopefully, see that that might not be big enough, but that's a great problem to have, I think.
Absolutely. And then the other bit of news that we have from around the league comes from Paramount Plus. And Amanda, you brought this up on our last podcast episode where you weren't too thrilled with some of the delays within the audio versus the visuals. How does this make you feel right now? This is what some of the pro teams had to resort to because they were unable to get the feed working
Oh
on
my God.
Paramount Plus. So Washington Spirit, for those of you joining us on YouTube, actually tweeted this out and posted this.
That was
This
their
is what
recap?
yeah, this is their play-by-play of the whole thing. So,
Oh my
not
God.
an artist is what they quote it with, and it goes Hatch with a header on goal, but it was blocked. Sad face, and they have
Oh
a
my
stick
God.
figure girl with a ponytail and a circle with an arrow and blocked. Sad face, and
Guys,
they tweeted this lovely recap picture
if
for us
if you're
all.
listening to this in the car, I hope you go to the 8 minute and like 20 mark and see this rendering from the Washington Spirit themselves. I mean, their actual Twitter page. It's amazing because I mean it sucks and it's awful that this is even the case. But I mean, this just goes to show exactly like why are we having these problems? And let me tell you, last night wasn't like a whole lot better.
Oh, here's
Um,
the other version.
Okay, so that kept happening last night as well watching the game. There would be like this funny like little like little thing happen, and what would happen is like every I swear to you, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but every like 20 to 30 seconds, the feed would get kind of blurry, like it looked like you needed to put on your glasses, and then it would get nice and crisp and keep going, and it just did it constantly, and it's frustrating. Like, why is this happening? Like, where
Yeah.
is this issue
How
coming
about
from?
these stats as opposed to the second half?
What is that?
That's the second half stats.
Can you please tell everybody what we're looking at, Nina,
So
since you love stats so much?
yeah, so what you're looking at is it's the number of the player with the arrow pointing to where they made the play to.
Uh-huh.
If it's green, it was successful. If it's red on the outside, it was unsuccessful. And
Okay.
then you've got both teams' numbers. So
Okay,
that's what that
so
is. But so this is the second half of stats. So
uh-huh.
clearly stuff was happening. This is the first half.
So they had no idea what was going on in the first half.
Lots of issues.
Yeah, lots of issues.
Lots of issues.
Oh my goodness.
And there you
Wow.
go.
All
Admin
right.
trying to keep everyone. I feel like this is something you and I would do.
Absolutely. I mean, definitely.
Like,
Admin trying to
we
keep everyone.
tried.
I love this so much and hate it also at the exact same time. I love that they're like the fun banter of it, but it's also a very serious issue at the end of the day. Like how much money is being funneled into Paramount Plus at the end of the
Right.
day for this to be an issue. Like all we're asking is to watch our games the same way everybody wants to watch their teams play, and
Mhm.
those issues aren't occurring along these other avenues. So we need to be better. Be better.
Especially knowing we are 1,000 games into the NWSL. That is right.
Yes, that's a great segue. You would think that at this point in this league, that at 1,000 games being played, we would have already like figured this out, but we have not. So let's just go into that news and note. Yeah, what game was this? This was Saturday's game, obviously, correct?
Yes, this was Saturday. It was OL Reign versus Louisville. So kind of an old school team versus a new one. So very cool that they got to celebrate the 1,000th regular season match for the NWSL.
Yay, that's so exciting. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of games. No doubt we're going to be celebrating 2000, before we know it. This thing's just going to keep going and a lot of fun. I mean, congrats to them. I didn't catch this match or know exactly what happened. I think Megan Rapinoe scored. I think, to be honest. But anyways,
Something else interesting happened.
right, like all kinds of weird things happening. So I don't know if you caught this, but the Dash and the Courage were playing, and I think it was out in was it in North Carolina? I believe it was. I'm sorry, I forget
Ooh,
that, but I think yeah. It was at Shell
yeah.
Energy Stadium. Which, well, was I don't know. I don't know where that's at. I'm sorry. I should have looked that up. For some reason, I thought I knew by the name of the stadium, but I don't. But either way, they had some adverse weather, and this was the note that was on Twitter. It says, due to adverse weather conditions, tonight's match between the Houston Dash and the North Carolina Courage at Shell Energy Stadium has been abandoned. As the first half was played in its entirety, the match is considered complete and will not be rescheduled. Courage win 1-0, playing just one half of games. Please let me know your thoughts on this, Nina.
Them's the rules.
So
Like
what
short and
sucks?
sweet. Sorry.
What sucks though?
Sorry.
What I'll say is, okay, we know in this game, second halves can be game changing. Second halves can be where you really took time to analyze the first half and devised a plan to come out and
Mhm.
change the game. Correct?
Yeah, but
And you've
that's why
got a
you don't win.
team. Well, I know, but that's
I
just how it
know.
can be. Unfortunately, you've got a team like Houston who had not lost a game up until this point. They had 0 losses on their season, and now they have a first half loss that is now a full game loss because
Yep.
of this weather. And I mean, it just sucks. I know if it was you and I and we were watching Angel City and this happened, I know we would be upset. So I know that the Dash fans have to be upset.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I
but,
mean,
like, who's to say what would have happened in the second half also? Like, I
no
get
one
being
knows.
upset. I get it, but this is also why every minute you play matters, like, scoring
Sure.
first matters.
100%, 100%. I absolutely agree with that. But it does suck to not be able to utilize an entire game to figure it out. Like literally, it was like, okay, we're done. I
Okay,
mean,
I
believe
also
me,
think
there.
of it though, like, if I could work out for 45 minutes instead of 90 and get credit for all 45, I'd love that.
You mean for all 90?
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it would be great, wouldn't it? I mean,
if I
absolutely.
could go to work for 4 hours and get credit for all 8, done. Done.
Sounds amazing. I'm sure there's a negative way to look at this too, and if I think of it before the end of the pod and I can use it, then I'll be like, okay, it's like this though, and then this. But let's not spend any more time on it. I think I want to. Well, oh wait, we had one more little bit of ACFC news.
Oh, yeah, we got NFTs again.
Yay. Okay, moving
Next.
on. Honestly, we're not spending any more time on the fact that we have, if you want to know, go to ACFC's website, check it
No
out. No?
thoughts on this.
No, there are literally no thoughts because we don't know anything about them and why they add any value to anything. Someone out there knows, and if you do know and you understand, then please visit the website and check it out. You will be so excited. But for
Or
us,
not. Maybe
we're
not.
not, we're not. I like stuff. I'm just gonna be out there. I like
Tangible
stuff.
things
I like things I can hold and grab and touch and
like
resell if
kittens.
I want for money. I don't know what to do with that. So whatever. Doesn't matter.
I like kittens.
Oh, if they would give out kittens, that would be amazing.
Right?
Mm.
Speaking
All
of
right.
kittens, make sure you stay for the fluff.
Right, exactly. That I mean,
But let's
oh,
dive into this game. So I think we are calling this the one we almost won.
yeah. I mean,
Because,
absolutely, because yeah, we did.
oh my God.
It was insane. If
Oh,
you weren't watching the game and you were following it like on like a I don't know, like a minute by minute basis on Twitter or updating yourself, you were probably going, what? Like
like I was.
seriously. Yes, I know.
I
And
was
it
at a disco gala.
I mean, that's fun. Don't get me
It
wrong.
was
That's a lot of fun. Um, but having to disco and check at the same time, I'm sure your brain was about to like
oh,
explode.
it's like bana, oh, bana, oh.
There you go. See? That's about as much as it changed. Every time you brought your hand in front of your face, you were like, oh,
Oh,
and another
something
one,
new.
and another one.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
So we
again,
talked before this game, and I was like, okay, come on now. Like, how much hope should I really have? Like, things haven't been gelling quite right. And we're heading into Portland 4 days after they got their championship rings. I had low expectations.
absolutely. I mean, we've always said it's the hope that kills you. We haven't been very hopeful lately, and our team hasn't been looking like a team that was going to come in and do anything threatening to the defending champions of this
Mhm.
league. And Portland, at Portland, tough place to play. I mean,
Yeah.
those what are they called? The Riveters, I think.
Yeah.
There's some fun fans, and I'm sure if you're on the opposite end of that, it's going to be hard for you to play. So yeah, same with me. I had low expectations. I knew what I wanted to see from this team, and I wasn't really saying that, a win was something that I needed to see. Because again, it's the hope that kills you, and I didn't want to go there. But
But
we're
you
gonna
know what
talk
we
about it.
started out with? We started out with hope. No, I'm just
Yeah, we did.
kidding.
Well,
Let's get into
well,
this lineup first, though.
let's talk about it. All right. So, I think we both started to.
We
There we go.
both tried to put the lineup in.
You know what? I'm gonna let you control the slides. I'm taking a seat back. So let's get
Ooh.
into this. Why don't you talk to everybody about Portland's lineup? Because there were some
Yeah,
interesting
obviously
omissions. Yeah.
some names you obviously know. Christine Sinclair starts up top. Sagita, who has played really well against us. Crystal Dunn, sorry. Coming into the midfield there. We know she had a baby last May, so this is her return to everything. Kuika, obviously another great player, Weaver, and then Bixby and goal. But honestly, we could say so much about every single one of these Portland players that have started. But then you have to also look at the bench, and you've got Sophia Smith on the bench. And we talked about her last podcast as someone we were going to be watching, as well as Moultrie, who I believe is still the youngest player in the NWSL right now.
There was one who just made it in for, I have to go back to the stats again, but 15 years
Ah,
old, she just came in. So she,
crazy.
I don't know her days as far as that goes, but before that, Olivia Moultrie was clearly she was the first one to sign at the youngest age. But yeah, I have to look at it. I forget who it was. I just ran across it today. But either way, I mean, I think she's now 17. So she's still stinking young, and she's gonna prove to make an impact on this game.
Yeah, a little bit ski. So
Yep.
moving to, of course, Angel City. Panda, you want to talk us through who we got starting?
Sure. So, of course, in goal, we're going to see Aditi Harachich, as always. We've also got, I'm going to start from the back. We've got Sarah Gordon, Paige Nielsen, Captain Allie Riley, and Jasmine Spencer getting the start back there on the back line. In the middle, we've got Danny Weatherholt, Savannah McCaskill, and Julie Ertz. Whoop, whoop. And then, of course, up front, we have got Alyssa Thompson, Claire Emsley, and June Indo rounding out the front line there. So, of course, on the bench, no surprises there. We've got Nabet, Reed, Le'Veon, Johnson, Hammond, Camberos, Anderson, and Eisenhower. And yeah,
Yeah, and because
We're
we pointed out last time with game changers, Portland call theirs the finishers.
Yeah, interesting. We still call our
Yep.
subs. Maybe we need to change that. I don't know, but subs,
Right?
game changers, finishers. I mean, it's cute. I like that they're having fun with it and coming up with ways to make it engaging. So no fault on them. But
Speaking of
anyways,
engaging, like first run of the game, we're diving into this. Angel City, of course, kicked off, and then 10 minutes
it,
in,
Portland kicked off. I don't know
oh,
if you saw
sorry,
my
Portland
notes.
kicked off,
I actually
and
made that
10
note for
minutes
you.
in,
I made that note for you. I literally said,
I
"Hold on,
appreciate you.
everybody. I need to make sure I know who kicks off because I never know who kicks off." And I did. Said it right
Well,
there.
it's
Portland
hard.
kicks off.
And then I misread it. Yeah.
And you didn't read it. I
I
wanna
read
cry.
it
A
incorrectly.
anyways, get into this because it starts out with a bang, and we don't wanna miss it. If you tuned in late, you would have.
Yeah, don't tune in late to Angel City. And this is why you have to score in the first 10 minutes. Alyssa Thompson knows, just in case you get rained out at the half. Alyssa Thompson putting it in the back of the net with a beautiful goal. She's got great speed. She knocks her defender off and fires it near post, scoring right off the bat, 10 minutes in, putting us up against the defending champions. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
freaking love this.
It was so good. It just shows how fast she is. She was on that left side. She kicks the ball out way in front of her and she chases the ball down. No one's going to catch her. And right as she gets inside that box, she kind of jukes her defender off of her. And with her right foot, the good thing about Bella Bixby is she is so tall that the
Mhm.
harder shots for her are the ones that are on the ground because it's a lot farther from her. She's much better at those shots where she has to extend and jump and get to. But this one, it was at her feet. And by the time she realized where it was going, she just couldn't get to it. And we are up 1-0 in the 10th minute. And I was like, oh, okay. Now, I will be honest, without Sophia Smith in there, I was still going, okay, we need to come out knocking early because I think, things might change once those subs happen.
Mhm. But you have a fun OptiJack stat for everyone. For those of you who don't know, OptiJack is the thing that we love most in the world.
Yes, I know. It was, but I was going through these. I put a few of these in there because I think it's fun to add to the game. It just kind of adds layers to it. But 18-year-olds Jaden Shaw and Alyssa Thompson have scored on the same day for the second time this season. They also did it on March 26th. They're the only teenagers to score in the same day in league history. So they are on a parallel that obviously we need to keep our eyes on both of them. I mean, definitely
Mhm.
Alyssa Thompson for us, but don't sleep on Jaden Shaw. So that's pretty exciting to see that. I love those obscure stats that just come out of nowhere. And
Yeah,
thanks to
thank you,
OptiJack.
OptiJack.
Yeah, that won't be the last one. There's a couple fun ones, so stick around as we go through because they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, and
All
then
right.
in the 16th minute, McCaskill has a great shot that hits right off the crossbar from Endo, and it goes just
Oh,
perfectly. It was like, just
it
inches away.
you see them attacking and you're getting excited. You're like, okay, they're coming out. They see this as an opportunity, and it really felt like Portland at this point was not expecting this. I think
Mhm.
not starting Sophia Smith was kind of your first key to, like, they think they can sit back on their heels and maybe rest her a little bit and still pull out a win. And you kind of see that. But I loved that we were being aggressive. And
Mhm.
speaking of aggressive, we got a little too aggressive, unfortunately, in the
Oh.
30th minute. And I wish I could have seen a better view of this. I wish I could have seen this, but unfortunately, we don't see it. They don't really go to VAR. They call it, and it's going to be a PK foul inside the box on Ertz. She kind of goes in with both feet to kind of block a ball that's coming in into the box, and she takes out the I forget who it was in the box, but she takes them out, and easy call for them. They call it a PK, and
It
well,
definitely was. Sorry.
yep.
It was a PK all day. Like it
I'm sure it was. I just wish I
sucked.
could have seen like a slow-mo of, like, did she get the ball first? You never
No,
see that. You just see
she
her
did not.
go out. You never know. She's a smart enough player, though. You think that she wouldn't make a mistake like that, I guess. That's why I would love to have seen it a little closer to just know. But either way, it doesn't matter. We can't talk about the past because it does nothing good for us. All I know is that we are going to see number eight's going to step up, and that is
Yeah.
Sugita. Yeah, Sugita is going to take this PK, and Didi guessed correctly. She was just a little slow. So
Yeah.
we've got a tie ball game.
And
Boo.
a tie in Portland is not bad, but it's not what we wanted to see. And unfortunately, we go into the half, and these halftime stats, like, honestly, to see 6 and 7 shots apiece is huge. Like, I know it says only 2 on goal for Portland and 1 on goal for Angel City, but it felt to me like so much more. Like, this
Yeah.
whole game was just riddled with back and forth action. This was a jam-packed game. So really exciting going into the second half as well. Now we're tied 1-1. It's still anyone's ball game and not really any halftime changes, but one thing we know is Angel City have never won consecutive games on the road. The
Yep.
last away match was a win against Orlando.
So yeah, going into this match, if we win, this would be the first time we would actually win consecutive home games. So, you've got that on the line. You're thinking about that, and you're hopeful at this point. I mean, we start the half out, as you said, 1-1. So back on even playing ground. The stats showed that we were pretty evenly matched in possession. We were a little aggressive with the fouls, but we're gonna see some subs from Portland. We're definitely gonna see some big names. We're gonna see Moultrie come in. We're gonna see Smith, and they had a couple more. And then also 2 minutes after that, in the 58th minute, Katie Thompson is going to come in for Spencer. And it's not going to take long. It's going to take about 9 minutes of feeling each other out before we're going to see a great ball by the youngster herself, Olivia Moultrie. Boy, does she thread the needle on this shot. She gets it to Weaver, who is being defended by Riley. I forget who else is there with her. And she pulls Didi out. She kind of takes it to the side, no defenders with it. Perfect angle for her to get it in. And now we are down 2-1. And I was just like, uh-oh, here we go. Like, this is where I was afraid that maybe we're going to start unraveling. And, this was for them. This was their time to kind of turn on the Jets and to really show us why they are the defending champs.
Yeah. And you had another fun OptiJack stat if you want to tell the world.
Yes, I would love to. So Olivia Moultrie, she recorded her 6th career assist for the Thorns at 17 years old and 224 days. She's the only player with multiple assists before turning 19 in league history. So again, no, not an ACFC stat, but definitely a stat that deserves to be recognized. I mean, to be young and to be setting, to having records under your name already, like, you got to keep an eye on this girl. This is not going to be the first time we're going to see her recording these kind of stats. And yeah, you hate to see it, against you, but you still love to appreciate the efforts of these young girls and them doing amazing things. But
And one thing I
anyways,
love is that they also count the days. So Panda, in case you were wondering, today you are 15,409 days old.
man, if I didn't feel old before that, it really makes you feel old. How many thousands of days old are you? I don't like
Hold on, I can look that up too. Hold on.
While you're looking that up, I'll just throw this out here.
I am 11,662 days old.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm very uncomfortable. And you know who else was uncomfortable? Portland was almost made uncomfortable in the 67th minute. Katie Johnson, she almost makes Portland pay for a really bad pass in that end of the field. She has a great shot. Unfortunately, it goes wide, but it happened so fast that, I almost missed it. I caught the replay of it, and it was just one of those passes back. They were trying to kind of move the ball downfield from the keeper, and she intercepted it, and, just shows she has a great shot. Unfortunately, she was plagued by the thing that plagues us most our games, where it was just not on target. We're swinging the ball. It's just not going where it needs to go. But guess what?
But the 74th minute,
yes,
we are able to equalize in the 74th when Emsley sent a free kick from outside the right side of the 18 towards the far post, and Katie Johnson crashes the box. She nearly gets her head to the ball, but ultimately it ends up bouncing off of a Thorns defender, Kuika, and into the net. And this goes down as an own goal, but I swear Katie Johnson would have had it.
Oh yeah, if she wasn't there, she definitely would have had it, and I have no doubt that some of the contact with that defender at the time also helped push that in. But there was a little bit of controversy on that ball, and maybe
Mhm.
a little more about this. I mean, I was listening to them talk about it, but Bixby was clamoring for a foul, saying that Ertz wasn't allowing her hands to get up. But the way that they were talking about it was, like you've got to be already committed. And she was waiting to the last minute to try and put her hands up. Had she put her hands up from the beginning and would have prevented it, then maybe there could have been some interference. But either way, it doesn't
Mhm.
matter. The goal was good. The goal standed, and we are seeing a game now at 2-2 in the
Ooh.
74th minute. So, I think at this point we're feeling good. We're like, okay, we clawed it back.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
we're getting there. We
We're
got pace.
tied. Are we feeling good right now that okay, maybe if this ends at a tie, like okay, we're okay, right? I think we're feeling that at this moment, but something's going to change that. Something's going to change how
Yeah.
we feel about the way this game ends, and that's going to be in the 79th minute.
Oh my Ertz.
Oh my Ertz. Yes, you said it. And let me say, Christian actually said at the beginning of the game, he goes, Ertz is going to score in this game. I'm like,
Mm.
okay. Like, I don't hate that. I would love
Well,
to see her get out
she
there.
first earned us the PK, but
She
then she brought it back.
Yeah, like we saw this in one of the men's games last week where we had a PK followed up by a goal by the same person, meaning they kind of righted their wrong. And
Yes.
you're like, okay, and that's exactly what happened in the 79th minute. We've got a header off of a free kick from Le'Veon, who near post, she's able to beat everybody, and just a beautifully fast, quick header that gets right into the back of the goal. No chance that went off anybody else on this one. That was all Ertz,
Mhm.
and we go up 3-2, 79th minute. Are you kidding me? Like, whew,
Like the position you want to be in. Like now, can we open up the rain clouds and call it? Like
right,
we'll take
right.
an end. Enough's enough.
Exactly. And if that would have been the case, this game would have been over. We would have left Portland with a win with 3 points. And real quick, one more stat because I think it's cool to mention for Julie Ertz because this sounds like a lot of time. Let me tell you, 2064 is the number. That is how many days it has been since Julie Ertz scored her last NWSL goal.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Her last time scoring was in September of 2017, which seems like forever ago. Like, I didn't even know you, Nina, in 2017. Let's just talk about that.
Whoa.
Yeah. The last time Julie Ertz scored, we didn't know each other existed.
My mind is blown.
I don't even know what button to hit, but yeah.
I don't think there was a world before we were friends. So.
Right? You're like, wait, she couldn't have scored then because nothing existed prior to that. But
that was like,
yes.
But
anyways,
long time ago.
Long time ago. But either
Back
way,
in the womb, basically.
Yeah, were you even born yet, Nina? Let's just talk about it.
No.
But either way, Ertz scores. She is back, baby, and we are now winning 3-2. And we gotta hold it down for like 10 plus minutes. And can we do it?
You'd think we could.
You would think we could. Defensively, well, we'll go over the stats in a minute on that and how I feel about it. But let's just go. We're going to see a sub in the 84th minute. We're going to see Hammond come in for Ertz, and some stuff happens.
We get
nothing.
Extra stoppage time again.
Yeah.
Like
we get stoppage time. How many minutes was it? Like
it was supposed to be, I think, 4 minutes of stoppage time, and we were at like 6.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so let me set this up for you guys. So it's like the 94th minute or something. I don't know. And we're at the other end, and they've got a corner kick coming, and you see Bixby run all the way down to the other side, and they're pulling the keeper. We've watched a lot of playoff hockey recently, so they're pulling the keeper. And you see Bixby. Bixby's tall. She's slender. She's wearing bright blue. She's not hard to see. And I don't know if you saw this or if you got to, but if you go back and watch the game, Bixby is in front of Dee Dee. Mm-hmm. Literally, they're touching each other. Like there is no room for Jesus between the two. Let me just tell you. The way that they like to do it at like high school dances, like leave room for Jesus. There was no room for Jesus. She was like, literally, Dee Dee could have impregnated Bixby if she could have. And I was like, is that even legal? Are you allowed to like touch her? And Dee Dee's like, what? Like, waving like, and nobody cares. Like they're just like whistle. Thankfully, though, that ball like makes its way
Mm.
over, and I forget who punts it out of bounds, but it ends up being a corner kick for the other side. So now we're on the other side, and you're just like, oh my gosh, we got to do this again. Like, please, 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 Dee, just punch it out.
Mm.
That's all we need. We need you to punch it out. Just stand your ground. And the one thing that we didn't want to happen happened. Actually, there's a couple things that could have happened and it still have been the same result, but the one that
This
happened was
is like the
not.
worst.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. It was the worst because they didn't even need her height for this to happen. So
Yeah.
basically, what happens is the corner kick comes in, and instead of Dee punching it out, she actually tries to catch it and collect it. There's a lot of people in the box, and I even think our own player was part of that scuffle that ended up like knocking the ball out of her hand. The ball knocks out of her hand, lands at the feet of Bella Bixby, who literally back heels it into the goal that she's standing like 3 feet away from. And you just, I mean, there was silence in our living room because I was like, are you kidding me? Like, there's got to be something wrong. See, there's got to be something we can review that's going to call this back because I just cannot live with this being the result.
Mhm.
And I mean, that literally was it. I think after that kickoff whistle done, the place is just literally like insane, crazy because they squandered out 2 points. They stole points from us that were ours, and I am not
Yeah.
okay. I am not okay.
No, I mean, the only thing that I can say is like being a fan of keepers in general, Bella Bixby, as OptaJack has tweeted out, is the second goalkeeper to score in NWSL history,
Yeah.
which is exciting. The other keeper also played for the Thorns, Michelle Bedos. And,
Yeah.
I'm excited for them, but like, why against me?
You're
Why
right,
me?
exactly. Like stop setting OptaJack records and stats against us. Like
Yeah.
stats are cool and all, but maybe try against someone else because I don't know. My
Yeah.
heart sunk. My heart dropped for the girls and them because I just know how hard they fought. I mean, down
Mhm.
2-1, they go up 3-2. I mean, that's a lot to do. There is a lot of hard work that's happening there. These weren't accidents that happened, so to say. Like we say, they got the own goal, but I still think without her being there, we put that in. And so it wasn't like an unfortunate bounce where, like the one that we had an own goal where it ricocheted off her back. That one was unfortunate. This was inevitable. This was going to happen, but what I will say is I would like to give a little credit to Bella Bixby. She did you see what she said about our supporter group? I'm
Are
going
we
to
the
read.
best? I mean,
Well, no, I'm
obviously
going to
we're the
read
best.
this to you. She said, wild night, still recovering. Felt so much support in the stadium pushing us last night. Love you, Portland Riveters SG. Also, very cool to see a ton of ACFC supporters on the road for their team. Hats off to Mosaic 1781. It's very cool to see this league grow the way it is growing. So,
Okay, that's cool.
so I thought that was very cool. Gave props to them. Noticed that at the very least. I mean, they really did. At the end of the day, they got the points. We've dug out things like that too. I mean, how did we win
Yeah.
our last road game?
Yeah.
With like one of the latest stoppage time goals in history. So
Oh, yeah.
came
I
back
mean,
to us.
the sucky thing is this takes us to kind of our standing in the league. Or first, let's actually do the stats from the game. My goodness,
the
this
shot.
game.
We
This
doubled them from the half.
Yeah. 15
Also,
shots for the Thorns, 14 for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Like-
mean, we were bringing it to them. I mean, possession wasn't that far off. I mean, I'm not unhappy with these stats. I'm not unhappy with this game. I'm unhappy that that we couldn't bring home 3 points. Yes. But I'm also not walking away from this game going, we suck again.
No,
Like
we
we gave
so
it to
well.
them. We really did. I mean, this is a great team. Portland's an incredible team. I mean, let's throw I'm going to throw the leaderboard up so you can see. I mean, Portland's at the top of the table and we stole points from them. We stole 2 points
At
from
home,
them
right after their ring ceremony.
at home. Absolutely. I mean, look, we fell in the standings. We were 7th. We fell to 8th. We have, 5 points in 5 matches played. So,
But
that's
look at that goals for line. I mean, 8 goals for. If you ranked based on that, we'd be in 4th. Okay.
absolutely. Now, this is what I want to talk to you about. Last year, we were having a different narrative. We were goals for was bottom of the table, goals
Yep.
against was top of the table. Our defense was really coming through. This is where we've kind of switched places. Our goals against is 10. I mean, that's like third from the bottom in that. So
Yeah.
we're giving up more goals. We
But we're
are
scoring
getting
more.
more goals. So yeah, come on, guys. We're almost there. We gotta we were there and now we're kind of here. We need to be like here. we, we need
We're
to
just
be
working on that balance thing.
we need to balance it out, and I don't think we need to walk away with this with our heads down. Also, did you see that San Diego lost to
No.
Orlando? To the only
Oh,
team that hadn't won a game. They lost like 3-1.
on
So
purpose?
they were not happy if you read some of the comments. Like they were not
Ooh.
happy with that. So yes.
I sense a
So
Twitter rabbit hole.
you should, yeah, you go through it. But anyways, this is the standings. If you're on YouTube, you can obviously see them there. If you're not, we've got Portland, OL Reign, San Diego at the top, Gotham, Spirit, Dash, Courage, Us, Louisville, Chicago, KC, and Orlando. So again, a lot of game left to play, a lot of great takeaways from this, of course. But let's talk about what we have to look forward to. We're going to tell you about the
Fugazi,
next few
fugazi,
games.
fugazi, fugazi.
Yes, today is Sunday, and so in 3 days we are going to be back. No, we're not going to be back. We're not going to be back anywhere because it's an away game. I don't know why I keep thinking we're playing at home. It's an away game. We're going to be up in OL Reign playing again against them for the Fugazi Cup. We have not had a
Hopefully we
great
can get a win.
we do not have a great record against OL Reign. I think we still have yet to win a game.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
this will be the
a tight
time.
game.
Maybe this will be it. But either way, for Fugazi Cup, tune in Wednesday, May 3rd at 7 o'clock. And if you don't care about that and you just want to focus on the regular season, we have got our next home match is Sunday, May 7th at 5 o'clock against KC Current, followed up by that May 13th. We have another home match against the Spirit, and then we're going to be on the road for the next 2 games. But we will podcast before that. I don't need to go into that, of course. We definitely want you to join us, though, for those home matches. I don't know if you saw it in my notes, but I'll read it here. Yes, Sunday, May 7th, we are going to have it's the the American Heritage, the Pacific Islander
Pacific
Heritage Night.
Islanders.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Mother's Day kickoff Saturday, May 13th. Mother's Day is on the 14th, so we're going to have a Saturday game to celebrate Mother's Day.
Whoop,
Anything
whoop.
you want to add to all of that?
I mean, I'm ready for like us to go on a winning streak and to make other teams cry.
Right? I know.
Like, I just want to make other teams cry. And, our quote comes from someone else who I think wants to make other teams cry. And this is from Sarah Gordon, who you and I both know fairly well. She was player of the match, rightfully so. She earns it. She plays hard as heck. And, one thing I like about Sarah, she doesn't mince her words. And what she says is, so we have things we need to clean up. But there's, of course, a bright side. We have a lot of potential. And that's my biggest takeaway from this match is, there's a lot to work on. There's a lot of things, we've always said we seem like we're standing in our own way. But this team is like brimming with potential. We beat ourselves in this. We gave up the points to Portland. And, this team is rock solid in the end, and they've got the mentality to go all the way. So I'm not stressing yet.
No, I'm not stressing either. I think we have the talent. I don't think that's the problem. It's just figuring out tactically some things maybe that we need to do. What did you think about this lineup compared to some of the other ones that we've had? I mean, we started Jasmine Spencer. They had Indo up front, but I really think she dropped back down into the mid a lot
Yeah.
and back. Would you have
I
changed
mean,
anything with this lineup, or is there anyone you would have rather seen somewhere?
yeah,
Or
I feel like
you
we just keep changing the lineup, and that's fine. We've got the depth for it. As long as everyone understands and knows the system and knows each other well enough, it'll work. And you know what? Teams don't know what to do when you have that kind of depth. So I'm in. I see the potential. I see it. I'm
I
going to trust the system.
As much as I know we've always said we like Spencer off the, bench, I did like seeing her start. She started basically in place of Vignola, who, hasn't had some of the greatest,
Yeah.
things happen, and maybe she needs some time to, like, calm down, like, reevaluate, and, I liked Spencer there. She's fast, she's, all over whoever has the ball and, does create a lot of, problems for them, so, yeah, I didn't really have a chance to go, down a Facebook rabbit hole with this game to see, like, what grievances people had to air, but, I think overall they seemed like they were okay. I think they
Mhm.
want to see subs earlier. That's been always the main complaint but, I don't think that
But
was a
they're
problem.
wrong. Like, that's just
I don't
dumb.
think that they liked that Portland subbed their game changers on, and we waited, a little bit because they did capitalize with their game changers, so but no,
Whatever.
I'm just telling you what people out there say. They're always very upset that Freya
Tell
seems
them
to
to come
wait.
find me.
I'm not gonna do that. But I think they would like to see fresher legs earlier, and again, I'm just saying what they're
But then
saying.
that
I'm
means
not
the legs aren't fresh later on, which is when it's better. Like,
well,
that's why you have
it didn't really help us much in this one, though. So, we scored our goals up to the 70-something minute, so I don't know. I again, I'm just saying telling you what people out there think. I don't know.
get on our live and talk to me.
I
At me.
didn't I didn't hate this lineup and what we did. I thought we did a really good job. Aside, from obviously, the one goal that they scored that I thought was a good goal. And we actually got beat the second one. The first one was
Mhm.
unfortunate, and the last one was just about as lucky
Super
as you can get.
unfortunate.
So, besides that, there was not a huge, impressive run of plays. They didn't capitalize in any of their set pieces like we did. So, take away the good things from this as you can, and let's just keep supporting, look at the positives. If we are still changing things, that means we're trying to look for the answers. The definition of his insanity is, doing the same thing and expecting different results. So if we're doing different things, we're not expecting the same result. We're trying to find a way to find, that winning mentality. So that's all I have to
Yeah.
say about that.
There we go.
Cool.
And you know how we like to end things?
Bye.
Bye. And here's our fluff.
I have my
Woo!
computer up, so I have a small little window where I can see my side view, and I think I would prefer to watch this podcast, from my
From your
side.
side view.
I
Here,
like
let's
my
put
side view. Yeah, I like my profile better than I like straight on, so
their side view for all
yes,
the
yeah.
people watching at home.
From now on, I'm gonna podcast from the side. I think it's better.
That's what you're going
And
with?
yeah, I'm gonna go everybody just
Here.
forget the other side. It's amazing. Thanks, Nina, I appreciate you.
I'm
Everybody
just
knows
calling
what I've
you
been
out for everyone.
yeah.
The
Oh, we
Fugazi
were.
Panda's on the screen now.
Fugazi Panda. Wow, everybody can now see Fugazi Panda. She's the one in
You're
the
the one
wings.
who named it that.
Well, that's so I knew not to throw that one up accidentally. That was the fake panda that's over here controlling all it's like the great and
Fake
powerful
panda?
Oz.
This is a fake panda?
It's fake panda. Real panda. Fake panda. I know.
If
Fake
you're not
panda
on our YouTube, you need to be.
Fake panda is like the great and powerful Oz. That's the one that's doing all the production and the stuff that happens, all the videos and slides. Like that's the reason those things happen. And well, now I've been exposed, and I think I need to go now. Oh, I will say,
This
it
is
took
late
me
for us, though. It's like almost 10 PM.
it took me 10 seconds to like pull this microphone down, and everything is perfect. I usually spend like 20 minutes trying to figure out how I want the microphone, like it's in front of my face, it's covering me, like the chair's not right. Like this one I just went bloop and I
Ooh.
was like, "Wow. I love where the microphone's at. It hasn't bothered me any, and a lot
Life
of
is
things going
easy.
right. Yeah, a lot of things have gone right today. I'm gonna go
There
watch some
you
Marvelous
go.
Miss Maisel after this. Yeah.
I'm gonna go sleepies.
Yeah. Like,
I
aren't you
think
glad we did this, Nina? Now we don't have to, like, push through this episode on a Wednesday night to
I'll let you know
just
tomorrow morning.
to be
This
to
is
be
way
completely
past my
honest,
bedtime.
the only reason I didn't want to put Fugazi Cup and regular cup together because I just don't like them together. I just yeah. I would rather
Oh,
put
I don't
Fugazi
either.
Cup. I would rather put Fugazi on Fugazi than not. So, like, I would rather recap 2 Fugazi matches than a Fugazi and a regular because I don't want to taint the regular season with that cup match.
The $1 million match.
The $1 million match that one day I hope they turn into an open cup match. But I did learn some interesting information about why we don't have an open cup yet. So apparently,
Ooh.
well, I don't
You're
understand
teasing
the.
Wednesday?
Well, when I get with you and maybe I can find out more, I can explain to you. But there's apparently a lot of tension between like WPSL and something like that. There's another league
Oh, yeah, no,
under
there's tons.
they don't know, they don't want to be the one that's seated under this one, and this one doesn't want to be the one seated under this one. Like, you know how there's rankings within the men's leagues with like
Yeah.
USL, and then like apparently
Yeah.
those 2 leagues in the amateur world, they can't agree on who wants to be seated in what rounds because
And the funny
it's like,
thing is, it's like everyone knows where you are. Like, it's fine.
well,
Like,
what we were
calm
saying is,
down.
you know what, for the first year, what would be amazing is
Even playing field?
let's just draw lottery drawing for everybody
Yeah.
for the first rounds, and then based on performance and maybe finishing stats, that can seed them from there. Like, oh, well, we had, this many won within this league advance. You guys will come in higher. At the end of the day, everyone wins. There's so much money out there that can be given for this that would benefit all of those leagues too. Like, get on the same page. Come on. Like, this would be
Yeah.
amazing. We don't want to
Figure
see
it out.
our teams play each other 42 times. I want to see, East Jesus FC Nowhere play, OL Reign and then come out with like an amazing, win and an upset. Like, that's the fun thing about the Open Cup is seeing these
Oh,
little
yeah.
teams that, are giving it all
The
they've
little
got.
team that could.
The little team that could. Yeah. Pigs Knuckle Arkansas FC coming through and saying like, hey, like
Way too late for you to be doing this to me.
we can do this. Like, I just want to see that. I want to root for these tiny little club teams that deserve it because there's some good talent out there that needs to be seen. And yeah, I don't want to play OL Reign 42 times in a season. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, not even a little bit. Good.
Anyways, it's
Real
late.
good.
I know you need to go to bed and get to work. But yeah, I'm glad we got this done. All right. Again, we'll say it again. Like, pick out the good parts of this. Like, I know we're always like, one of these days we might just say, have it, we suck again. But I'm not ready to say that yet because I see the little, I mean, we've got the Alyssa Thompson, who's such a spitfire. We've got Julie Ertz, who's now going to be there, who's able to feed those balls in there. We've got some great talent. We've got Sydney LaRue, who's going to be hungry the second she comes back. I know it's happening soon. Like, I feel it.
You feel it? Does she feel it?
Can you feel it? No, I hope she can. I don't know. I'm being optimistic.
I'm past delirious, so I think you are now edging into delirious.
All right. We're gonna end this, everybody. We got one left thing to say. Here it comes.